Hey, Bastish B here for 64K and welcome to episode number 40 of Pop Culture Quick Bytes. And welcome back. So on today's episode we're going to have a look at a new Bitmap Books release called 50 Indie Games That Changed the World, released in August of 2025. So what this book is a celebration of the last 2 decades or so of indie games, and they're highlighting 50 of the most influential ones that they think have done the most for the industry and have forwarded indie game development. This book clocks in at about 450 pages, which is a lot, and it also has a big honorable mention section, so you're not only getting 50 games, you're getting a whole bunch more on top of that. So let's first take a look at the cover and the contents. The list of the indie games is pretty diverse, covering most genres. And it's got the contents, honorable mentions, you can jump to whatever you want. And some nice big old splash pages. And it features all the games on a 2-page spread, so you can jump to whichever one catches your fancy. And it also has a really great honorable mention section right at the end, in case one of your favorites was missed. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit deeper into the book. We'll take a look at the reviews and how they set out and all the other smaller features. So each game gets a 4-page double spread with plenty of information, facts, and opinions. And my favorite part is how it changed the world section, which is how they end off each review, which is them trying to explain why this game was so important to indie game development as a whole. And the honorable mentions section at the end is really cool. It gives double page spreads to a whole bunch of classics that may not have appeared earlier in the book. And now a quick word from today's sponsor. The Nova 2 Lite is GameSir's latest wired and wireless controller with the new mechanical circular D-pad, a perfect fit for versus games, Hall effect analog triggers with switches for long and short presses, extra back buttons for customization, and is also compatible with previous GameSir recharge stations. Works with PC, Switch, iOS and Android, and comes in this cool protection case when taking it over to a friend's house. Another extremely affordable controller. And I'll leave links in the video description for purchase. And I thank GameSir again for sponsoring this video. And what's my overall impression of this book? As per usual, Bitmap Books always deliver the goods. It's just top quality in terms of writing. There's enough information in here that you can get a really good sense of these games, because each game has about 8 pages dedicated to it. Usually in their books it's usually 1 or maybe 2 pages if you're lucky. This one, because there's a smaller amount of games, 50 in total, you get a lot more information about it. The information is great as per usual. It's a mixture of personal opinions and facts all mashed together, and I really like it how they sum up each game with it, how it changed the world. It gives you like a little impression of how this indie game added to the creation of more indie games, or indie games in general. I think it's a cool idea. Instead of giving it a rating of 1 to 10, it's a much cooler way to do it. Quality wise, it's always excellent. The honorable mention section is also cool. There's a lot of other games in there that should have been maybe had bigger spreads, but it's all a matter of opinion, right? But they at least got 2 pages each, which is another big spread as well, so that's very cool. Whoa! I was slightly surprised at the amount of games in here that I've actually played, because I don't really play modern games all that much, but I've actually played quite a lot of these. Not all the way through, but I've like dabbled with them at least, so I know what they're about. There's also a whole bunch of games in here I just had no idea what they were or what they were even called, and so I found some cool ones here I'm going to try out, and maybe they'll appear in future videos. I love that. I love that about that. If you're an old school gamer, you're probably going to enjoy this book as well. Most of these games have old school mechanics in terms of gameplay and graphics, but they have that kind of slightly modern edge, which makes it easier to get into and more user friendly. That's what I'm trying to say. And Bitmap, as per usual, send this in a really good package. It is packed so well. I've mentioned this in every video. It is meticulous, so your book won't get damaged and you'll get it in really good condition. I really like that. Shipping is obviously a little bit expensive for worldwide, purchases, and I was lucky enough that they sent this to me, so I really appreciate it to review it, so you can check it out. Otherwise, I usually buy these books myself, and the shipping is a bit expensive. The books are very reasonable as far as I'm concerned for what you're getting, but just bear that in mind. It's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but if you're really looking for quality, then I can't really recommend this more. And that wraps this up. I want to thank Bitmap Books for sending me this. I'll leave links in the video description so you can purchase it. And thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K. I hope you had a good time. And if you can please like and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.